We would like to invite you to help support the efforts of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. Visit the website at www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. That's www.unityandrebuildingfund.com. We often hear how we need to work together to rebuild the city, and we're actually doing it. You can make online donations and click on links to track the progress of the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. And for more information, 313-868-0000, the local number. Again, 313-868-0000, support the Unity and Rebuilding Fund. The views and opinions expressed from the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of W33BY, its affiliates, management, or sponsors. Brothers and sisters, are you tired of reading the Holy Scriptures and not really understanding what you read?
The recording has started. This conference is being recorded.
No, someone may have
Q&A session started. Q&A session has started.
FM 88.1 WHPR and Comcast Cable. So why don't you call and let's discuss the Holy Bible? And if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and the true wisdom. So tune in to a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12 noon, right here on C33, FM 88.1 WHPR and Comcast Cable. You can call in live on the air at area code 868-4356, 868-0342, and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 3. That's 313-868-4356, 868-0342, and 868-0351. And now let's go live. Scriptural discussion.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just, I greet you all once again who have the hunger and thirst for Allah's truth and His understanding of His instruction in righteousness, which we call Holy Scriptures. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace that He taught us. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. We have we're going to go into another aspect of what our religion is about. See, religion is not what people think. Your actually religion is a way of life, is the way that you live your life. I had told you that even though I don't vote in the city of Fayette, some of you all do because you live there. But I don't try to clone people, and so you cast your vote based on what you felt. And I couldn't vote, but I told you whoever gets in there, we as a community have a duty. And that is, if we care about our community, the county and the city in which we live, whoever gets into office, whoever is in the position of the mayor, the supervisors, or whatever, we don't have a right to complain if we're not going to try to help them do something. And so I've invited the newly elected mayor to come in, and he graciously accepted my invitation. And his name is Mr. Londell Enus. And I'm going to read a brief bio and introduce you to him, and then let him introduce himself. I also have two of the representatives for Dr. Cosby. And as you know, that I have been an adamant supporter of his during this time of what I call an attempted lynching of him. Matter of fact, the media already carried out their lynching, and but we will deal with that when I talk with his representatives this evening. But right now, we have Mayor Londell Enus, and love, trust, respect. These are a few of the values that have driven the life of Mayor Londell Enus, also known as Rock. Many recognize him as a trusted family member, while others know him as an invaluable friend. This is what has prompted him to shoulder his share of the responsibility of moving Fayette, Mississippi, forward. His bold step of running for mayor showed his commitment to our community, whether it was helping to establish the Fayette Bobcats or providing much needed computer services and tutoring programs. He has made it his mission to give back to his community. He was born and raised in Fayette, the city that he likes to think of as the small town with a big heart. He has listened to the concerns of citizens, and he firmly believes in this quote from the great Medgar Evers: "The gifts of God should be enjoyed by all citizens in Mississippi." Mayor Eanochs has much at stake in Fayette. He works here. His family is here. He is a hard-working husband and father. This is why it's so important to him that he be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem. But he is not alone in his drive to help our community. His wife, Lashika, also shares his passion. Together, they formed the Breast Cancer Organization. It's called Got Pink. Along with cancer survivors, they provided education to our community to raise awareness of the risks and symptoms of cancer. Mayor Enus also established CLEAR, the all-volunteer development organization that promotes community growth. He is a graduate of Virginia College with a bachelor's degree in network engineering. He obtained his master's degree in workforce education and leadership from Alcorn State University. As a member of the Alcorn Alumni Association of Jefferson County, he was awarded the Community Involvement Award. He is the owner of ROCKS PC Services, which has donated computers to many families in Fayette, as well as the city library. Mayor Enus knows that there are many residents that care about what happens in our community. And he asks for your support as we undergo the task of improving Fayette. He understands that no matter where we live, we all want safe neighborhoods with good schools, thriving local businesses that respect our environment for all generations, well-trained, well-equipped, and motivated first responders, and a transparent and trustworthy government. Mayor Enus' plans to use his platform, Mayor Enus plans to use his platform, to encourage all of our residents to get engaged and to inspire one another through love, trust, and respect. He firmly believes that with these values in our hands, our community will truly move forward and prosper. And I must say, I like that brother I was talking once, he said, I wish I had said that. I wish I had wrote that. Because I sure agree with it. And I want to welcome the newly elected mayor. He will be installed, I think, in July. So he is the mayor-elect. I want to welcome Mayor Londell Enus into our forum. And Mr. Mayor, you can unmute your phone by pressing *6. And I would like you to
Thank you.
correct whatever mispronunciation of your name or your if something that I left out in the bio, it was not done on purpose. You correct it and feel free to introduce yourself and bring us up to speed on anything that was left out.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
I really appreciate the opportunity to be invited to your radio station. It's an honor, it's a pleasure that I am now the mayor-elect of the city of Fayette. The bio was very interesting. I'd like to meet that guy as well. But here at Fayette, I'd like to begin by saying thanks to everyone out there that's listening, or even those that are not. I want to say thanks for the support. Thank you for your vote. We, as a community, made a decision to move in a different direction. And I want to say thank you to everyone that was a part of that decision. And even those that did not vote, I want to say thank you as well, because I'm going to be working for everyone. As I said before, I believe that a mayor should work for the people, and the people should not work for the mayor. So I'm here to assist, to help, to reach out to anyone that wants to get engaged, get involved in this process of healing Jefferson County as a whole.
along with the city of Fayette. We really need to begin to mend and build relationships along the way. And I expect the community to definitely get involved in this process. So if you have any questions or anything you want to proceed, you can.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I want you to, how old are you?
I'm 33 years old.
Okay. So I moved here before you was born. And,
yes, only 33. I believe that I am the youngest mayor of Fayette ever, so I think that's a historical moment.
yes,
Being 33 years old. A lot of people didn't believe that we could do it, but we did it.
well, I'm gonna tell you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No
problem.
Go ahead and complete your thought, and please forgive me. I should not.
No. We okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I want you to know that, President Kennedy was the youngest president, and people thought that he was not, qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, he was one of the most qualified presidents that America has had. So you were younger than some of my children, but that is not. It's not so much as the youth, age-wise, as it is the experience of life and the desire to do what's right for our people. And it surprised me that you already had you already had a job that was paying you good money. So that was a pleasant surprise that you did not just run for office for to get income, and that is very important, that a person have a want to serve their community when they get into a position of authority in the community. It should be to serve, not to take, but to give. I talked to you briefly, but it was refreshing. It was a pleasant surprise, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. And I have no problem with young men being intelligent and helping them who want to help us as a people.
Yeah.
And you come off to me as that kind of person, and I from what I have seen.
Thank you. I'm definitely a person that being a young man, I've had a lot of experience under my grandmother, and she taught me a lot of different things of patience. Patience has been one of my strongest components, is being patient. And yes, I work at Alcorn State University. I've been there 107 years, and I'm a network administrator. And you are right. It makes a difference when you're a person that trying to give back to your community versus a person that's seeking a financial gain, because right now, that's not my goal. And people, when I talk to them, I let them know, in 4 years, if I'm not doing the job, let's try another way. And I'm open to that. At Alcorn, I'm a network administrator. I'm A+ certified. I'm Network Plus certified. I'm Microsoft certified. I'm Cisco certified. I have a bunch of certifications. So I have a career, and my career is in technology, but I do have a master's in workforce education and leadership. So I have that experience as well in leadership. And so, it does make a difference when a person get in a position solely for what the position stands for. And I believe that we should serve in a public service position. And most of us, unfortunately, most of our political roles We are being served. And so I'm trying to make that change here and say it, because I believe that we have a perfect opportunity to begin the change of a better way. And I'm ready and willing to work with any and everybody to make this happen. And it's going to take all of us to do it. So,
well, I'll tell you, you will have whatever support that the new Nation of Islam, myself, and those who are members, whether it's from the business, the district, or whatnot. We are not going to strip mine this community. Every dollar that we get from the community, some of it going back into this community. We're going to work with the city if you let us. We will work with you. Hopefully we can partner with you. It just came down the pike to me that the city of Detroit is about to start doing something similar to this with us, that and any other people in the community that want to help beautify and rebuild Detroit. They're going to, I was told that they're going to be doing some matching funds. Well, if we can do that, I mean, it's sidewalks need doing in Fayette. We need to beautify even the properties that's there. We need to help the businesses fix up their properties. This is what we got to form a team of people who really want to see the whole community do well, and not just want to live here and take all they can and to hell with everybody else. No, it don't work like that. It hasn't worked well for us living with that kind of attitude. We have to start caring about each other. And you know, it's refreshing to see a young man with so much talent and skill. To look, you know, and I again, I don't mean no disrespect, but to look at you, you wouldn't think that you had all of that under your belt. You know, it didn't make you proud, I see, and that's good. Yeah. And for knowledge will puff us up, but wisdom will keep us humble and service. Nothing makes you more humble than to work for other people. As you work for other people, you instead of wanting a pat on the back, your reward will be what you see that you have accomplished to help someone else. There is no plaque or no certificate or nothing that can change, can make you feel more fulfilled as a human being than to see the condition of people get better because of something you did.
Correct.
That is, righteousness is its own reward. Being good is its own reward. Like that song that you singing about Santa Claus, that he coming down, so be good for goodness sake. That truly is the truth. Do good because that's what you're trying to be.
Yeah.
Not because of who looking at you. And you know, Mr. Mayor, what would you like to say to the whole community? And you know, we're on the World Wide Web right now.
Okay.
And so, you know, you're not just talking to Fayette. You're talking to Virgin Islands. You're talking to Detroit. Mm-hmm. You're talking to Germany, France. You're talking to people all over the earth, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well,
feel free.
I'll just to give you a little bit off of what you were just saying. When it comes to, let me give you an example. A lot of people didn't truly know who I was. There's many people still trying to find out who I am. But I know that the Lord rewards in secret. Okay? I've been heavily blessed. Heavily blessed. So this is what I understand. As I went through this journey of trying to assist and trying to be there for my community, I'll give you an example. It's in my bio that I've given away computers, but no one knew how I was giving away computers. There wasn't nothing for me to take money, and no one never knew this. Take money of my own. Go online and buy a bunch of computers. I could buy 10, 20 computers for $300, $400. And because of my skill that I've been blessed with and I have obtained, I was able to take those computers that were once salvaged and refurbish those computers. And I could take those computers, and it gives me all the joy to show up at someone's house and set that computer up and watch that child smile right up on his or her face. That was my reward, just to know that I was able to do that for someone just by the gift and by the grace that I was given from God. So this is the kind of guy I am, and I want people to know around the world, we as a people here in Fayette, we have an opportunity here. We have an opportunity to have a leader that is not concerned about himself, because he understands and he knows that everything else is taken care of when you do the will, when you put others before you put yourself. And I've always done that. I was laughing with a friend the other day, and he brought up, he said, man, you never been into it with anybody. And if you did get into it with someone, you was fighting for somebody else. So all my life, some things I believe are obtained along the way. Mm-hmm. But there are some that are given something from birth, yes, from childhood. And I believe I've been blessed to have such a thing from childhood. And so as I continue and I move along my way, and no, I am not a perfect man, not even close to a perfect man, but I recognize my wrongs and I do my best to correct it, and I move forward. So as a leader now of a people, and I want everyone to know, as a leader of a people, I'm serving the people for the best interest of my people. And that's from all inside of me. Because once again, I don't have to be the mayor, but I am the mayor. And now that I am, the resources, the partnerships, the connection, anything that's out there for us, we have to use it, and we have to expand, we have to build, we have to grow. And I truly believe there's enough love in this community, there's enough there's enough financial support in this community, there's enough God in this community, that we can move and make this place sit on that hill so that light can shine. And I truly believe that we have that opportunity. And that's why my campaign slogan was, together we can. And because I always knew the only way we can do it is together, regardless of our differences. I heard you say earlier that religion is a way of life. It's the way we live. So regardless of the way we live, we still have to live together. Right. We have to coexist together, or we're going to destroy each other. So this is why, and this is what I understand as we move forward in rebuilding this community and taking it to a level that has never been before. in the beginning of my bio, I talk about love, trust, and respect. And now I realize I left one out. It was love, trust, respect, and relationship. We can't, if I can't love you, we can't begin to trust. If I can't trust you, I surely can't respect you. And without respect, how can we build that relationship? So I understand all of these pieces and parts that we continue to, as we continue to move forward, we have to have these pieces and parts together to begin to move this community forward. And yes, beautification of this city is key. If the new nation is willing to invest in this community, yes, we should be willing to invest as well. This is our home. Any group, any organization, any company, if someone is willing to invest, we have to be willing as well. And we have to get our community involved and engaged in this new process of building. And some, they don't understand what it's going to take. So we have to lead and we have to guide each other so that we can begin this process of rebuilding Fayette and take us to the next level. So,
well,
from
go ahead.
From our schools, to our law enforcement, we got to have it. Our schools are failing here. We have to invest in our schools. I tell people all the time, we'll go to Alcorn. I work at Alcorn. We go to Alcorn and we'll donate. We go to Alcorn and we'll buy T-shirts. We go to Alcorn and we pay $25 to get in the game. We'll tailgate. But tell me, are we investing in our own local public schools? We have to do that. We have to invest in our schools. We have to invest in our teachers. We have some of the lowest paying teachers in the state. So why we can't invest in the people that's going to make the difference in our community? We have to expand the city. We have to annex some areas. We need to get our Cross 61. We have to do these things in order to begin to get that light. Because right now it's truly dim, but at least the candle is lit. But I'm going to let you go ahead and proceed.
Well, there's something. I'm proceeding when you're talking. So that's you're my guest. When you invite.
I thought you had a question.
Well, I have something that I wanted to chime in on. That I'm a listener and I'm a watcher. I watch people and I listen to people. I don't just be quiet waiting on my turn to say something. The one thing that impressed me about you was that, I had people to say things to me, pro and con about the current, at least the past Mayor Rogers King. And as far as his person, you never said a derogatory or hateful thing to me about him, and I respected that because it's easy to sit on out and look at someone that may not be accomplishing what you think they should accomplish, but it's not always intelligent to pass judgment on a situation that you haven't been in yourself or haven't experienced yourself. And so when I saw that you were running and had won, as I told you, I had talked with Mayor King about the sidewalks and whatnot. and he had already given me the okay that any beautifying or any fixing up that we could do to just go ahead. And I told you that he had told me that, and you told me I agreed. And I didn't want, as I told him, and I tell you, and now I say it in front of the community. If you think that I'm just walking around in Fayette doing what I please, you got another thing coming. I don't go in other people's house, call myself taking it over. Anything you see me doing, I got permission to do it. And that's the way we will do. We are team players. I don't have to be the captain to be on the team. And so, you know, you're our mayor, and you've told me you want to continue what was started. You know, Mayor King had told me that he was looking into getting a water tower with the name Fayette on. You know, you know how most cities have a water tower, and Natchez got a water tower. Mm-hmm. And I told the water people, and I'm telling you that we will help you get there. And I'm pretty sure when the community realizes the good that you want to do, the rest of them will be glad to help you too. And just do right by the community. Do justice by your community. If you can't help them, don't hurt them.
Right.
And that's all any community can ask, is that you do the best that you can do and keep your words to yourself. You know, and not being perfect. You know, when you have the desire to be perfect, all you have to do is wait on God. He'll do the rest. Abraham wasn't righteous, but he wanted to be. He trusted God, so God accounted it that. He attributed righteousness to Abraham because he wanted to be. And so that's not about us all being righteous and upright. It's about, is that what you want to be? I do want to be. And so Allah helps us. And Allah is simply the name of God. And it means all and in all. And in Arabic, it means the God. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught me that is actually God's name. And it means all and in all. And in the Bible, it says that in the end, God shall be all and in all. And that is a wonderful thing. And I'm not asking you to agree with me on what you don't know. You don't have to agree with me on anything other than let's do what we know is right. And if we all do what we know is right, then won't nobody have a justifiable cry against any of us.
If I can chime in on that.
Yes, sir, you certainly can.
I talked to you a while back, and you said something to me that stuck with me. Listening to you speak just then, you said, if we're doing right, correct me if I'm wrong, if we're doing right, we all have the same last name.
There you go.
So if we're doing right, our last name is righteous.
Yes, sir.
So I hear it.
And I didn't author that.
Well,
I didn't author that. Jesus authored that. He said, whosoever doeth the will of my Father, the same as my mother and my brother and my sister. In other words, that's my family. Mm-hmm. That's just plain and simple. We got the same Father because we got the same desire to do right. So we be all right. And, Mr. Mayor, look, I wanted you to be able to thank the public and introduce yourself to some and reintroduce yourself to others. And I wanted to keep my word, which is what I said I would do. Whoever get elected, I was going to start hands-on helping them. And so we intend to bring you back on in the future to make transparency more than just a promise or an empty promise, but for you to come in and talk to the community through this and the station in Fayette that is there. They got plans. The brother was talking about the fiber optics there today. The man from C-Spire, the engineer, and he was talking. And so soon you will have a vehicle through which to speak to the people on a regular basis. And I would like all of us to be a team. I would like us to do what's best for all. Then the individual will be taken care of. If it's good for the whole community, then it's good for the individual. And that's the way we got to think from now on. So the businesses that we open, we're going to partner with the city to make sure that you don't have to try to do everything by yourself. And we know how we've learned how it goes from watching Caucasian people. You know, it seemed like we picked up all their bad habits and didn't pick up none of their good habits. And it's time for us to rectify that. You know, because white people are very industrious people. They work hard and they don't beg anybody for anything. And we have to pick that up. Because until we pick that up, how can they accept us as their equals? Industrious people cannot accept beggars as their equals. So I'm so happy that we waking up to the fact that we got to work our way to equality instead of beg our way to it. And so I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for all of the people in the community that's starting to come together to do. Let's do. Don't talk about it. Let's do. And so I'm gonna hold you to your word that you're going to be transparent, that you're gonna be out there visible, and that's what you said. That you're gonna be right there in the community with the people and work with the people to make the community better.
That's my word.
All right. Well, we're gonna hold you to that. All right. Now you can add the last word on this.
When we talk about transparency, I'll give a little bit on that. My word is to be visible. My word is to keep the community informed. If the new nation is investing, I want the community to know that the new nation is investing. I want the community to know that businesses are investing. We as a people have a tendency here in Fayette, Jefferson County to only run off of, operate off of hearsay and rumor. So I want to keep the community informed and with the facts. So yes, you have my word on that. If there wasn't any other promise that I made, that was one, and that's to keep the community informed about anything that is going on and keep them updated. And I think that's fair. I think that we'll get more support. I believe that people are willing to do more when they are aware of what they're engaging themselves in. So yes, we will have transparency. So, but I really do appreciate the airtime, and I will be back.
Well,
I will be back, and I do plan to in the near future to host a community meeting to talk about some of these things that we can move forward on. So be looking out for that, and I will be in touch.
Well, before you go, Mr. Mayor, I would like, if possible, if some of the listeners have a question or two for you, Do you have time to, just
Sure.
if any of you are listening that have anything you want to ask the new mayor of Fayette, you can press *6. Brother, fix it where they can just press *6 and take it off of that others. And one at a time. If you have a question, you can feel free to ask him.
Q&A session is over. All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves.
You did both rooms?
Q&A session is over.
Fix it where they can unmute it. Okay. Now, if anyone has a question for the mayor-elect of Fayette, Mississippi, that you heard him say something that maybe you wanted to ask him about, feel free to do so. And if there is none, we want to thank our mayor for coming on and taking the time out. He kept his word that he would do this. And that's a good start. If a man give his word on something and he keep his word, then they say a man is as good as his word. If your word is good, then you're a good man. So, Mayor Enus, I thank you, brother, for coming in, and we look forward to doing this again in the future with you. And we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
May Allah bless you and your family and keep you all safe. And all you elected officials, you eat at home, drink at home. Then the last thing I want to hear is you sick and something wrong with you. You eat and drink at home. All right. So thank you, Marion.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I'm not running you off either. I have Dr. Cosby's two of his representatives that I'm about to introduce to you after a station ID, and then we will be brought up to speed on what's happening with that.
Okay.
I was very, very well. I was somewhat disappointed, but somewhat pleased with the outcome of that farce that they called a trial. And I call it just that, But anyway, if Brother Derek and them will do a quick ID, station ID, I would like to begin reading the bio of my other two guests.
Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan. FM 88.1 WHBR, Highland Park, WCIE 107.7.
We have with us Ms. Ebonee Benson. And Ms. Benson is a native of Birmingham, Alabama. She is former Miss Black Alabama 2010, as well as a former cheerleader for the semi-pro team, the Birmingham's Steel Dogs. During and after attending the University of Alabama, Ms. Benson continued to build her resume by engaging herself in different industries that reflect her various interests and her passions. She has worked in the beauty industry, sports and fitness, the arts, public relations, and has always been an advocate for bettering communities and the civil rights of others. We also have Mr. Andrew Wyatt. Now, Andrew Wyatt is the founder, president, and CEO of Birmingham-based Purpose Public Relations. He has overseen the rapid growth of the PR firm, as well as provided counsel to hundreds of companies, including members of the Fortune 500 and Forbes 400. His work spans global interests, corporate entities, high-profile individuals, regional business entities, government agencies, and academic institutions, both on routine public relations matters and extremely sensitive issues. One of the foremost respected and ethical public relations experts in today's results-driven world, Mr. Wyatt is known for his aggressive, results-focused orientation, as well as his close working relationships with members of the media, influencers, decision makers, politicians, and celebrities. Mr. Wyatt, along with many of his clients, has been featured in a number of national news outlets from CNN, MSNBC, the Griot.com, the Root.com, and Jet Magazine. He has been referred to by many of his media friends and colleagues as a publicity guru that knows and understands spin. Earlier in his career, Mr. Wyatt spent 10 years in the broadcast television business, ABC, 3340, and Fox 6 News, as a production assistant, news producer, health producer, entertainment producer, and senior account executive. Mr. Wyatt graduated with honors from Miles College with a Bachelor's of Arts degree in communication with a minor in education. While a student at Miles College, Mr. Wyatt created and served as chief editor for the institution's newspaper, the Million. And then when you tell me, I'm fumbling with this word here, Milean, Mylene. And today is affectionately called Miles College's media mogul. It says, Mr. Wyatt currently serves on the Children's Dance Foundation Board, UNCF Mask Gala Leadership Committee, from 2001 to 2011, Who's Who in Black Alabama Inaugural Leadership Committee in 2011, Visionary and Corporate Solicitation Chair of the NAACP, Fashion Show Couture, 2009 to 2011, Birmingham Association of Black Journalists from 1998 to 2011, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Inc., Incorporated, 75th Grand Conclave Corporate Entertainment Committee member in 2011, and is a proud financial member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity, Incorporated. In 2010, Mr. Wyatt was organized as an outstanding young professional by the Birmingham chapter of the NAACP. And I want to welcome Mr. Andrew Wyatt and Ms. Ebonee Benson, and please correct whatever I messed up with my little 12th grade education. So, so I want to feel very at home. You're not in no place where somebody trying to say gotcha. So you just come on in, but just remember, others are listening. So,
yes, sir.
All right.
Well, thank you. Good evening, son of man.
And good evening to you both. All right, now whatever I messed up, Evan,
you didn't mess up anything.
Absolutely, you did a great job.
You did a great job, a fantastic job. So thank you for having us. It's a pleasure. You and I, we've been knowing each other for a while, and you have been a strong foot soldier for Mr. Cosby and his rights and for the rights of others. So I appreciate you having me and Ms. Benson on your show this evening.
Well, I would have been remiss not to be. I mean, you know that what they say, the same people you met on the way up, you're going to meet them on the way back. And Mr. Cosby has been a positive influence in many people's lives. And we know of his history of going around trying to get other comedians to clean up their act. Really, to clean up their act. And you know, do you know how much willpower you have to keep your evil, the stuff that you know you ain't got no business doing, to keep that in check while trying to do good for others, while you got to do a balancing act with your own. I know what that's like, because I learned how to cuss and swear with the best of them. And I a lot of times it'll pop into your mind while you talking to somebody because you got a little heated, and you have to really check yourself. I know I have to check myself. And so, I have great respect for his ability to have went all of these years doing and setting an example of how you can make it without rolling around in the gutter. And then because he decided to spend his sunset years reaching back to his people and trying to help his people, and here they come with this garbage. And the very people, you notice the very people who accused him of things, come to find out they was the one guilty of it. But I tell you, I want you all to, I was curious about that court thing. I wish they had called me as for character witness or whatnot, because I caught the first few people, that the first woman, one of the first ones, Miss Ruley, Christine Ruley. I caught her in her lie. Mm-hmm. If the people that start off with accusations are found to be liars, then everybody that jumped on board saying that same thing, all of them was liars. And I'm going to tell you one of the, this kind of case, I know what circumstantial evidence is. Circumstantial evidence is evidence of hearsay and stuff that you ain't got no real proof, no tangible, something you can hold in your hand as proof. You just got to take a bunch of people's word. The very fact that the DA know he ain't got nothing but the taking people's word, that case has reasonable doubt built into it, which it never should have been brought. Now, that is my personal observation. And when you find it, I gave all of them people, I questioned the lawyer, and she's not even involved in it. She's a public relations lady. She just wearing the title lawyer. But Gloria already didn't try none of them cases. And she come in here trying to convince me that Dr. Cosby should put up $100 million and for anybody who want to come in and sue him. And I guess she thought that I was so stupid that I would, and when I started to question on it, she ran away. So I want to say first I want to thank Mr. Wyatt and Ms. Benson for standing with Dr. Cosby. And he got a lot of other people that's now done waking up to that farce. And many of them that might have went for it at first ain't going for it now. I have a question, since I wasn't in the courtroom, but I would like to know, once the jury came out the second time and told the judge that it was they were deadlocked, it was a hung jury. Well, I got more than one question. The first question is, did the judge what they call poll them to see who did what? How many people? Did it come out how many people were against it?
ABC News just ran an article. This is just the most recent information I've heard about it, but the court itself hasn't released any of the information, but a juror spoke with ABC anonymously, and they just published that article.
Okay.
So on the, you go ahead.
I think the article said that on the first three counts, on the count 1 and count 3, you had 2 holdouts of not guilty, and on the second count, you had 11 holdouts of not guilty. I think these jurors, from what we saw, Ebony and I, they retried this case in the deliberation room. They came back and asked for every piece of evidence and testimony that was given. The only thing they did not ask for was the opening and closing arguments, which they could not have. But it was remarkable on how these jurors were deadlocked the first time, and the Spencer charge that was given to these jurors, I think they were confused. They didn't understand, and they didn't understand that they could come back multiple times and say we're deadlocked, and I don't think the judge did a great job of explaining that to them, how that worked. And but then the jurors started back deliberating, so there was nothing that could be done. They had an opportunity to just come and say we were deadlocked, and they started back again. It was remarkable to see 52 hours go past, and these jurors were still trying to sort through evidence. But that Saturday morning, I think when we arrived around maybe 8 something, close to 9 a.m., we had gotten in the room they had provided us, which was the conference room, and Dr. Cosby called it his dressing room, and we probably was there maybe 5-10 minutes, and then our attorneys Brian McMonagle and Angela Gusa walked in and informed him that the jury had informed the judge that they were deadlocked, and came to the end. So it was grueling, it was intense, it was a stressful time to be in that situation, but Mr. Cosby held up. As you have said in the beginning of your show, Son of Man, God was with him. It was out of our hands, and I appreciate everything that all the supporters that came out. And I don't know if the media showed all of those people for days on top of days, came out and stood out there from the morning to the nighttime, just saying we support Dr. Cosby, and we came here to hear the truth, and they heard the truth. He has always said that I don't want people to come in and take my side for innocence or guilt, but just come hear the truth.
I have another question. After the jury, it was apparent that they never was going to reach a decision after the judge had sent them back into there to deliberate. When he said that the jury when he declared a mistrial, what did he say after he declared a mistrial?
I'll let Ms. Benson take that one.
After he declared the mistrial, he pretty much informed Dr. Cosby as well as his representatives and the media and the public that a mistrial does not render not guilty, that he was still charged, and he presented the question to the prosecution about whether they would be retrying the case. The district attorney still stood up and said that they will be retrying the case. And the judge went on further to explain how that goes, that they have 120 days to refile the case.
The judge told the one thing that's kind of puzzling to me is that as high profile as this case was, when there was a mistrial, it bothered me that the judge, I had only heard that he did this. But to ask the district attorney, are you going to refile it right there after a mistrial? What? It's like the judge was encouraging the district attorney to refile charges, or putting the district attorney in a position where he had to answer right then, which made no sense to me. If the judge is a disinterested party, then the only thing he should have did was made a ruling on whether it was a mistrial or not. If it's a mistrial, then declare that and then dismiss the people. Then let the
I think at that point, Judge O'Neill was in the position that he was trying to get information to the media before Mr. Wyatt did. I feel that was the reason for that, so that it wouldn't just be the declaring of a mistrial. It had to come with all this other information, because at that time, the decorum order in the courtroom had been lifted, so people were able to transmit through social media, tweeting, Instagram. So I think that was a little
my point is that shouldn't have been the judge's worry.
I think
the judge should not have.
This case should have never been here.
I know.
And that's the first thing. For 18 months, this case has been, we have been going through preliminary hearings, and this judge had the opportunity, based on so many motions that were filed, to get this case thrown out. He had the opportunity to throw it out. This is more politics and personal than being judicious.
Well, that was my point. Mm-hmm. That was the point I was making.
Right, and so this is more politics than personal. You have a district attorney who ran a Willie Horton-style campaign ad, saying, if you elect me, I will bring Bill Cosby to justice. You have a judge who has been elected for that position as well. And you have to just look at the politics behind it. This is career-driven. These are people who have been ambitious in every form and fashion that one could think. And they saw an opportunity, and they're using Mr. Cosby's good name to propel their careers. And the media exposure in this case gave them the attention that they were desiring. So we saw it when they would not let our witness, Margot Jackson, into the case, saying that her testimony would be hearsay. And Mr. Grusa had Ms. Constant on the witness stand and asked her, do you know Margot Jackson? And she said no. But Margot Jackson had information and evidence, and we had someone from Temple University that provided evidence. If they would have let Ms. Jackson get on the witness stand as our witness, that would have shown that she did share a room
shared a room many of times on the road with Miss Constant and the Temple women's basketball team. So it was a lot of things that transpired. But at the end of the day, that's why we tout this mistrial as a win for us, because of all of the things that we have seen for 18 months, all of the trickery that has been going on for 18 months. We've experienced it. We endured it. And for us, we call it a victory. You had jurors who looked at the facts and they saw the inconsistencies in the stories, and they were deadlocked. And it was the inconsistencies in Miss Constant's story. The case was about her. They made it about her. So that's where we're at today. Mr. Cosby is pleased. A weight has been lifted. Now, the district attorney did say he's going to bring this to 120 days. I think it's imperative that, with your show and your program, that you reach out to people in your program, reach out to people in Philadelphia and across the country to call and flood the district attorney's office with calls and the judge's office with calls and say, let this go. You got your hit. You said you were going to do what you were going to do. You did it. And now we don't want to see this back. And the constituents need to call in, because this has cost Montgomery County and Norristown millions of dollars. Well, this is a small town.
That was my point. When the judge, when the judge made the statement about, I have a question. Did he order the district attorney to bring it within 120 days, or that's the end of it? Is that an order he gave, or was he speaking that this need to be done?
That is the law. No, that is the law.
Mm-hmm.
For any mistrial. Mm-hmm.
Right. 120 days to bring the case back because the longer you wait, you have the potential of what they call tainting a jury pool, in which it's already tainted. And the case is already so polarizing that I don't know how you go back and get more fair and impartial jurors than what you had, last week. So, I feel personally, and I think many people out here feel that this DA needs to let it go. He got his licks in. He brought Mr. Cosby to trial, and the people heard the truth. And now, there was a mistrial, there was a deadlock, and he needs to let it go at this juncture, and he needs to move on with his political career and let Mr. Cosby move on and get back to work.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to get up off the judge's case, since you're also convinced that he didn't have no dog in the hunt. But the way you put it just now is okay. Well, the judge followed the law. Okay, but the district attorney, he knows that he had no case. He knew that before he came in there.
Mm-hmm.
They was counting on that. Now they didn't have but 2 black people on the jury.
Right.
Why?
Well, when we were in Pittsburgh for the change of veneer, they granted us change of veneer, but denied us change of venue. So we were able to get the jurors out of Allegheny County. I was there, and all of the black jurors that came through, they rearranged the numbers, so the blacks had to come back the second day, and they were not seen by the judge the first day, because the judge did all the interviewing. No side was allowed to ask any questions. Well, when we started to get blacks to come through, the DA out of Allegheny County was working with the DA out of Montgomery County, Kevin Steele. They were pulling arrest records on all of the blacks. Her name is Kate, and Kate was confronted by a reporter for Black Press USA, Stacey Brown. And Stacey said, it's rumored that you all are pulling arrest records only on the blacks that are coming forth to be jurors. She said, yes, we are. And every black that came and sat at that conference table, when we said we wanted them, the DA would say, "Judge, we have a problem." Judge would go back to his chambers, and they would pull out an arrest record or some conviction record on only the blacks. And they were trying to suppress black people from being on this jury. And that's what we experienced. So we put forth the Batson versus Kentucky challenge, and the judge made it aware to the DA. I hope you're not playing any games. And when we finally got the black female that was on the jury, they pulled out her. She had a prior record, something on her record, an arrest or something. And they pulled that out, and the judge said, "No, we're not playing that game." And that's how we got her and the black male on the jury.
Well, I want the white people that's listening, and I'm talking about white people who believe in justice. And there are lots of them. I know that. This is why what you see happening all around your country. This is why. All this weather that's tearing up your country. They ain't telling you everything that's happening. But they know I'm not lying. This is why. You have to stand up and put a stop to it. You don't say that a man have a right to a trial by a jury of his peers, and then you bring him in there in front of a bunch of people that ain't really his peers. And you know, if white people had to go on trial in a place where wasn't but two white people and all black people was on there, they wouldn't go for that. This is the day and time. I'm warning you. You had better treat us like you want to be treated. I'm warning you. You better make your people do the right thing. When my people mess up, I say something. And I don't go along with it. You better curtail these rednecks and people that walking around here in suits and instead of the robes of the Klan and all that mess, because they about to put you off the earth. They trashing your country. Black people can't stop what's going on. White people got to stop this stuff.
So you're right, son of man. That's why we're so pleased and we've been so proud with your show, because you provided us a platform to get our information out. For 18 months we've been silent. I think Ms. Benson
I can't hear you, brother. Just talking to the phone.
I said for 18 months we have been silent. I think when Ms. Benson came, she gave a much needed voice that women heard around the world, and it energized them when she read Mrs. Cosby's statement, and it brought clarity to what was going on with this entire situation, these alleged allegations with Mr. Cosby. So now people have heard the truth, and it's amazing how the supporters have come out and the outpouring of support. So, we were able to tackle a lot of issues and put out the inconsistency. So now, he can bring the case back, but now we have a playbook. And that's the beauty of it. We have a playbook. And one thing that they have to be careful about now is when they get back on the witness stand, you put your witnesses back up. Their testimonies have to be very tight and consistent, because if they give a different testimony when we cross-examine them, that's grounds of impeachment.
Well, I'll tell you,
he runs a huge risk.
Well, brother, that witness that they refused to let get on there,
mm-hmm.
They got the letter on there this next time. You know why? Because Miss Constant said that she don't know that lady.
Right.
Then when that woman is a rebuttal witness.
Mm-hmm.
And a rebuttal witness, she can come back and do you know Miss Constant? And she say, yeah, well, how? And if Miss Constant, she done lied. And she's a liar from the word say go. And you know, it's time now to put an end to this farce. You know, I don't have to tell you. You saw what happened over there at Fox News.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to tell you. You saw what happened over there at Fox News.
We know.
All right.
We know, and I think, and you know that whole situation, you know, made people. It woke up Black America because they saw how another group of people protected their own.
Who was that?
They thought, I don't know.
Put her out. Okay, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
No problem. They saw how that group of people protected their own, and they're saying, okay, we need to stand up for our icons and protect them in the same manner. You know, like I say, it goes back to Mr. Cosby, and I think you have heard him say, son of man, I'm not looking for men and proclaim my innocence or guilt. I just want the facts and the truth to be out and let people hear it for themselves.
Yes.
And that's what we have done. I know we have a conference call with, you know, attorneys on the West Coast in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So I hate to end this interview, but I just wanted to, you know, we wanted to come on and because we have to make some decisions on what strategies we're going to face. And we wanted to come on and Ms. Benson and I talk to you and get our part out to this community that's so important, and to say thank you, and to say thank you to you, your listeners, all over the world. And we need them they need to flood that Montgomery County with those calls. That's what's imperative right now in order to invoke change and to tell them to stop this. It's done. It should be over with.
Give them the number, brother.
I don't have the number at hand, son of man.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to be back on Friday, and you come back in here. Text, brother.
We come back on Friday.
You come back on Friday and give them the number over there.
Right.
And I tell y'all something else. This is it's time for this stuff to stop.
Right.
Now, if we hadn't showed you that every woman that I did interview, I showed you she was lying.
Right. And you know what's important enough for people to know, Gloria Allred, she tried to extort us and ask her for $100 million, and she would make it all go away.
Yeah.
And we said no. And now look at Gloria Allred. What people don't want to report on is the fact that she is being investigated by the California State Bar. And so she has a bar claim filed against her. Mm-hmm. Opposed to dealing with, you know, trying to take down Mr. Cosby, she needs to be dealing with what's in her backyard. Well, and focusing on those issues. So, and those are things that she do not want people to know. She calls herself a civil rights attorney, and I call herself a person that exploits people's rights opposed to civil rights. She's an exploiting rights attorney. And so we have to put that message out there. But I definitely, on behalf of the Cosbys and myself, want to thank you. I know we have to get prepared for this next call with the attorneys.
Okay, well, I want y'all to start coming on and sharing with the people. I want you to start coming on and sharing with the people what's going on with that. What you waiting on to get him out of there?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to start coming on, sharing with the people whatever you need to get out to the public to let them know the farce that's going on. You come in here And you don't need to give me no full warning. You just call in.
Yes, sir. I will.
And I'll open up the mic to you.
Thank you so much, sir, man.
All right, brother. Thank you both. And you give Dr. Cosby and his family my love and greetings.
Yes, sir.
And he spoke up for the Muslims when nobody else in that area, in that entertainment field, none of them ever spoke kind words about the black Muslims. Dr. Cosby did.
Right.
And I'm never going to forget it. I'm never going to forget it. He didn't deny us, and I'm not going to deny him.
Well, we appreciate you and your producer, Jamar Muhammad. Jamar has been great. He stays on top of the case. He gets in contact with me. I know I get pretty consumed, and I know Mr. Benson has done a great job of keeping him informed about when I'm consumed. But he stays on top of the information. We try to give him as much as we can. And like I said, we just really appreciate you and your listeners, and have a fantastic night. And we will call in again and give more updates as we receive them.
All right. And anytime, anything we can do to help you, let me know.
Definitely.
Let Jamar know. Let him know.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
And you all too.
Q&A session has started.
Brothers and sisters, we
Q&A session started.
we have an obligation to stand up for each other. You know, you don't stand by and watch your people get lynched. I remember the messenger said, "No, brother, we go down together." There was a time when a bunch of devils could come together and grab a black man or woman and just get out there, and a bunch of crowd of them standing around, and we standing there trembling, watching it happen. No, I'm not going to tremble watching you murder or watching you lynch my people. No, you tremble. Because Allah is with me. It's going to be floods, all right, not just a flood of cause. What it's doing in Louisiana right now? It's dry here. It's got floods in some places, droughts in other places, snow in other places. Man, don't you know what's going on here? You better wake up. You better wake up. Start doing the right thing. Let's get back to the theology of time. We even got time for that after those good interviews. I want to get back to the theology of time, so I'm gonna have to hook my players up, and then we'll get on it. So y'all give me a minute here. I got to get this going. And
power in that direction.
And we gonna pick up where we left off. I think we was on number what, 6? What number was we on? Do y'all remember? Nobody remember? Huh?
Track 6 at 4 minutes and 3 seconds.
At track 6, 4 minutes and 3 seconds, you say. Let's see here. Well, let's start there again.
I would like to ask a question. Educationally.
All right. We there now. These these tape players and stuff, they some really good things. Allah gave me all of this technology to help me to judge everybody. Yep. Didn't you ever wonder how that was going to happen? You know, people say, well, he come with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Well, you know you on ball, right? Don't you know you can't even see what something that's in them physical clouds up there? It can be in the clouds over Mississippi, and you can't even see it in Texas. But now, you notice, them satellites, they get up above the clouds, and they look down and show you the whole planet. Huh? And it's some spiritual clouds. That's what clouds are. They're water vapor. And in order for that's the sun's way of purifying water. What is actually happening when you purify? You take away any foreign matter from a particular type of matter. If you go to dust, if there's nothing there but dust, if you get rid of, you sift it and get everything out of it but dust, you have purified that dust. Do you understand? So when you see the hydrogen and oxygen clouds up there, then those two gases come back together and rain, waterfalls. Well, that's the method of purification. You know, the Bible and the Holy Quran have been polluted. The Bible have been, as the Bible itself says, that it hath been diligently compared and polluted. You know, when you put your thoughts next to God's thoughts, that's, since you got a natural mind, everything that's natural, when you put natural into spiritual, you pollute it. Do you understand? So just like when they said that Jesus died, why you got the messenger's picture showing instead of letting the people see what I'm... When you see matter that's mixed with something else that is not of that type, it needs purifying. When you mix the natural understanding with the spiritual word, then what you are actually doing is polluting the spiritual word. That's why the book says that let me make sure that I prove these things to you. You know, like the man who was in here, his name Anthony, was in here Monday, talking about he's a member of the Nation of Islam. And before he got out of here, he said he didn't believe that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was telling us the truth about Yaqub and making white people. Well, how in the world you come out, you a member of the Nation of Islam, and calling the one who founded the Nation of Islam a liar? The hypocrites are surely what? Liars. Didn't want to stroke my ego by pretending to be humble while all the time he's got like the dog wagging his tail and trying to bite you. But anyway, in the Holy Bible, I want to show you that, you see, you think you putting something over, but you only deceiving yourself. The book says that there are some, turn to the 2nd chapter of the Holy Quran, and you notice the people in the East, you hardly hear any of them trying to dispute with me anymore, because they know that I'm the Mahdi. They know that the sun has now and is now rising in the west. The light of truth that the messenger called them the scientists of the East could not bring to you, he could not give to you. He said that light of understanding of the truth that the scientists of the East could not give to you will come from where? Will come from the west. He said will come from a man right in your midst. You're looking for somebody to scale the eastern horizon, but the man is right there at your foot. That's what he told them, didn't he? I played that for you already, so I know that it ain't that far gone out your memory. Now, he not only said that, he told you that the black man is God. Now, you know, you don't have to believe that the word is with me. Just get to tripping. And you will find out that you get punished for disrespecting me now. Just as much as if you walk into that courtroom and disrespect that judge who's sitting up there on that bench. You know what they say about getting found in contempt of court? You do so to your own peril. You see? Sometimes Allah let somebody appear to be getting away with something so that he can trap somebody else. It's like that fool who come in here and them outbursts and all that kind of stuff. You don't go to an end. When you find out somebody insane, you don't expect nothing sane from them. But now people who ain't got sense enough to know what sane and insane look like, well, then they fools rush in. Well, what? I remember the messenger said that whenever Allah chooses one, he said these scientists, they go into conference to see if he's up to the choosing. Oh, well, if I wasn't up to the choosing, then I couldn't make all of them scientists that the Bible was revealed to bear me witness. I take them in conference there and make them bear me witness. So look at this. Prophet Muhammad saw this day and time. Look what he says. And there are some people who say we believe in Allah and the last day, and they are not believers. You saw an example of that Monday. Huh? He said when he was 18, he didn't believe that teaching. Then wanted to act like he got older and he now understands, right? Then he come right back and say he still don't believe that Yaqub made white people. Huh? Then when I told him, I say, so you don't believe black people made white people? Oh, I believe that. But, well, what are you talking about? The boy's a hypocrite. And see, that's why you got people out there right now that think that the teachings that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought was a lie. Because you got people like that out there misrepresenting us. You see what happened to him when he came in my face? Huh? Yes, sir. He didn't want to stay in here because he wanted to talk to me. He wanted to stay in here because he saw what a fool he had made of himself. And he was trying to rehabilitate himself in your eyes and in the eyes of the people who was listening. But there is no rehabilitating. A fool cannot rehabilitate himself. He ain't got sense enough to not manifest that he's a fool. Don't you know when you say you don't believe in a messenger of God, you are saying you don't believe in God? The fool hath said in his heart that there is no God. Now, they seek to deceive who? See, he don't believe that I am the best knower, even though I'm manifesting that to the whole world. You through coming in here represent some spook to me. I don't know no other God. The truth is my God. And he's in me, with me. And he told me I'm your God. As he told Moses, he said, I'm going to raise up one like who? What did he tell Moses? See, I've made you a God. To Pharaoh, or to all you pharaohs out there. The messenger said there's lots of pharaohs. Well, Allah has made me the Lord of all of you. And if you say I'm not, come in here and teach me what I don't know. Come on. Share with me what I don't know about the scripture. Here's a man, that's the same, was that the same foolish man who wanted to know what kind of greeting is Allah's salam alaikum? You know, it's foolish people, it's just fools everywhere. I hear some people, they still don't get it. Even though I'm very careful to say, may Allah's salam alaikum to you. When they say it, they say Allah salam alaikum. That's not what I said. Do you know the difference in yours and your? Do you know the difference in a person's name and something that is theirs? If you say, for instance, my given name, Marvin. Oh, there's Marvin. Well, that's one thing. But what if you say there's Marvins? What do you mean by that? That means that's something that Marvin owns. You got some peace to give me? Then how come you ain't got none? How come you ain't had peace? If any of y'all in this world got some peace for somebody, you like to say peace be unto you. From where? You ain't got none. That's like a man telling me, yeah, be rich, man. So well, give me some money. I ain't got none. Well, you don't want me to be rich then. But now, if the United States government says, be rich, Marvin, they can go print the money. If they ain't got it, they can print me something. And make sure it's in your account now. They ain't even got to go print it up. They just put it from the U.S. government to my account. And that's that. Haven't you noticed with all the hell you try to put on me, I'm at peace? It's because Allah is with me. I don't get peace from you, I get peace from him. And since I haven't yet heard any of them, you know, English is the only language that you can actually speak and make yourself more civilized. You know, you ask people, well, how do you ask for water? And they will give him a, I wish my son-in-law was in here, he could tell me how you ask for water in Spanish. Tango. Tango is I.
It's I
want water. That's not a civilized thing. That's an order. In English, you say, may I have some water, please? It's a language that you can learn humility. That's why when I asked them, what is the Arabic word for may? M-A-Y. And nobody gave it to me yet. So all they can say, Salam alaikum. Yes, but that's not, you ain't got no peace for nobody. That's not the way. May Allah grant you peace. May Allah's peace be on. That's why I put may on the front of it. May Allah's peace be unto you. May Allah's salam alaikum. But them arrogant dogs out there, and I'm going to fix every one of them. I told them I was going to fix them, didn't I? You ain't figured out yet that when I'm talking, Allah is speaking, have you? Remember I told you, and the scripture told you that the flesh profiteth nothing. And what did the scripture say? And the word was made what? Flesh. And Jesus told you the words that he spoke was going to judge you in the last day. Oh, yeah. I offered you peace. I offered you the chance to show why you don't accept me, why you won't submit. What hindered thee that thou art not with those who made obeisance? My black skin. That's what the problem was. I'm not going to make obeisance to a nigga. Of course, that's what you say, but it's the same thing in the Quran. Say, I'm not going to make obeisance to a mortal whom thou hast created of black mud, of fashioned into shape. What I look like submitting to somebody black? And you never said a cross word. I don't care how many times you walked in church and saw a picture like this. You didn't say, what you got up there talking about this Jesus? If I ask the average person, who is this? This is Jesus. He can be Jesus if he white. Can't be nothing if he black. Be gone. Is that right? Yeah. Now, you don't know what the deal is with me, do you? But I know what the deal is with you. As you find it out, I'll be telling you what's in your heart. Yeah. So let me show you. See, I give you of the hidden manna. The things that I show you that Allah done gave me, most of it is just one sentence in the whole book. Now you talk about a needle in a haystack.
Yes, sir.
How would you go about finding a needle in a haystack? A great big magnet. How do the sun draw pure water out of the ocean? It's a magnet. That's what the sun does. It don't draw up nothing but water vapor. Allah made my mind to draw the hidden manna. Turn to 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. And I'm going to give you a number. Now, I want you to turn to 2 Peter. Now, hold on to 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, and turn to 2 Peter, the 1st chapter. Okay. I'm going to give you some of the hidden manna. 2 Peter, the 1st chapter. Now, in 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, let's see what it says. Now, you got to go down now to the 30. The 32nd verse. Look what it says. And the spirits of the prophet are subject to who? What is the spirits? The words. So if you're not a prophet, you ain't got no business trying to explain prophets' teaching. I hear you. We'll say amen. Amen. Yeah. I mean, let's just be real about it. Can't no man tell no woman how she feel on her monthly. That's a subject that only a woman can talk to a woman about. Is that right? Tell me what it feels like to have a baby, man. You don't know. Why? Because you ain't no woman. Likewise, there are certain things that in order to understand, you have to be of that circle. The spirits of the prophet are subject to the prophets. So all this stuff you've been learning in church from these people talking about they was called and they was inspired by God. Ain't no telling no you ain't. You're lying. Some Bibles used to close with these words, as far as the Old Testament goes, the end of the prophets. You know what? I'm gonna take you a little deeper. When you give your understanding of the scriptures and you didn't get it from a prophet, then look what the 2 Peter said, that 1st chapter, the 20th verse. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. Now tell me something. When the last time you went into a math book and found that 2 times 2 was something other than 4? Can you put your private interpretation on? Or do you have to get it from the book? Now you see why these people are so angry with me. Because I take away their ability to stand up in front of you and lie to you and then pass a collection plate. You heard me now, right? You notice, I wasn't at the courtroom. And so when that brother and sister, Ebony and Andrew, as good as said, well, the judge tried to be right. He tried to be. I got up off of him, didn't I?
Yeah.
Because what it sounded like to me, they said that wasn't really the way it was. And when he gave them 120 days, I asked, was that an order? And she said, yeah, that's the law. They got to pay. Well, okay, now I understand. If you're going to redo this, you better do it within 120 days or this stuff is out of here. Huh? Okay, I'll go for that. That'd give them 3 months. No, or 4 months. I'm sorry. But I want you to understand something. If you knew like I knew, when I tell you to leave something alone, you leave it alone. You know what happens when you disobey a judge's order? You're in contempt. And remember, I told you was going to learn to be scared of me. Keep living. Because I don't ask you to do, I don't order you to do things for me. I don't have to tell you to leave me alone because most of you, I get out your face. I'm very careful not to be where you can stumble over me. You notice you hardly ever see me on the street. When you see me on the street, it's because I'm finna go inside of that theater or something and work on that. I ain't just up and down the street giving people a chance to disrespect me and get themselves in trouble. Wherever I go, I speak to people. I treat them kindly, and you know, I had, when I was up at the thing the other day, a brother came up to me. I didn't know him. He said, he's so honored to meet me and whatnot. I told him, I'm honored to meet you. I'm not walking around here with no top heavy. No, I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to put you in a position where you have to stumble over me. No. If you got a problem with me, you created that, not me. Because all I'm doing is trying to stay out your way. I try my best to show you how I want to be treated by how I treat you. Now, if you ain't got sense enough to respect me while I'm showing you respect, well, then you deserve what Allah said He's gonna do to you. I mean, that ain't on me. That's on you. You have to answer for how you treated me. I answer for how I treat you. And if I can't help you, I ain't gonna hurt you. I'll just leave you alone. But you got some people that, they just can't leave other people alone. You know, now I will fall out with you by messing with my followers. And you leave my followers alone. If you got a budget like with you and people that don't like you, that's one thing. You can ignore that. But don't mistreat my children. I'll get you for that. And you'll never even know. You leave mine alone. And I ain't gonna beg you to do it either. Now, you take it from that. But you see, if the prophets were told to serve me, then where you get off trying to judge them? Who is he that judgeth another man's servant? Another who servant? The prophets wasn't told to serve you, they were told to serve me. What did Jesus tell the devil? Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt what?
Thou serve.
Jesus and all of them are my servants, not yours. That's why you can't go in there and find nothing they had to say against me. See, you love to talk about the Lord was coming. Ain't that what they've been saying? We getting close. The Lord be here pretty soon. The Lord coming. And now when he show up, then it's a whole different ball of wax there. So, he said, well, here I am. I'm here to put an end to your oppression and put an end to your suffering. Well, yeah, who you supposed to be? That's first thing. Who you supposed to be? Right? You say, I'm the Lord. And then they be ready. Did you know that nigga said he's the Lord? That's what they said. They go away and talk about you. How many of y'all could do what I did and do what I'm doing? You know, I mean, lack of money ain't stopped me from doing nothing. I went and borrowed some money. And when the banks found out that I'll pay back, you need some more. But he in business, he don't make no money if he don't loan out no money. I have to tell people that, no, I don't need to borrow no money. I get letters all the time. People want to loan me some money. Why? Everybody wants to loan money to somebody that's like putting money in the bank that you can go back and get it. They know I'm going to pay my debts. I ain't got to tell you how we are. When you see a perfect stranger on the street, can you loan me a couple of dollars? Do he mean loan? No. And you give it to him if you want to. It ain't coming back. Not from him. I mean, that's the way people are. I mean, the scripture says the wicked borroweth and payeth not again, but the righteous showeth mercy and giveth. You see? You know, I used to give money to people all the time until I started building stuff for you. Then I can't give all the money away. I won't be able to buy no stuff. You borrow money from the bank, you got to pay that back. So I'm not a person that you can't trust with what's yours. You give me, I ain't gonna tear up yours. I ain't gonna lose yours. Later on, you find out that everything you thought was yours was mine in the first place. The scripture says the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, the world, and everybody in it. So you keep on clowning, and pretty soon you're going to clown yourself right out of creation. You're going to become fertilizer for something that will obey, something that will do right. You should not wear ignorance like a badge of honor. Whenever a person, you show a person that they don't know, the first thing they should be is grateful. Because if they think they know, then they either been lied to. If you show them that they don't know, they either been lied to by someone else or they have been deceiving themselves. That is what devil means. It means a deviser of illusion. In other words, make evil fair seeming. You know, a child's mind tells him to do stuff that could kill him all the time, and he ain't got sense enough to know it. Or she. The little man done told him it's okay. The devil done told him it's okay. The next thing you know, it's crying time. The devil deserts them then. Then they want you to fix it. Sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't fix it so quick. And sometimes you can't fix it at all. And then they got a little short cough in there. You understand? All right. Ignorance is dangerous. Let me show you something. What did I do with my magic one? Here. First, let's get back to the messenger here. So the words of the prophets is subject to who? So if you can't understand the book, how you gonna teach it? If you don't know where to find what I find and how it applies, you ever found a roll of keys? Here's a good example right here. What is the point of you having all these keys and you don't know what they fit? It's a whole lot of locks out there. What they key to? That's why you always, if you find somebody's key ring, you throw it away. Because you know what? I don't know whose keys this is, and I sure ain't finna go around here trying to unlock stuff with them. Well, that's the point. There's very few people that lose their keys and know they lost their key that worries about somebody go find it and come to their house. Because they know that chance is maybe 1 in a million. So they just go and get their spare and get another key made. Is that right? You don't go to changing locks. You know, unless you think somebody got your key or stole it, then you go change your lock. Isn't that right? Okay. Well, Allah didn't have to worry about that. I'm the only one he gave to eat of the hidden manna. You done read this verse before, but you didn't know what it was for. When I read it, he tell me what it's for. And he tell me, now go and get this one. See, now these two go together. You see? Do you understand? Yes, sir. And then sometimes they don't go together. You know, it's just like words. T-H-E spells thee. But every time you get T-H, that don't mean you about to spell thee. Is that right? So, you know, when you're trying to spell Thomas, Thomas, and it's a silent H, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so it don't do you no good just to know that you can put these two together and do something. No, it don't work like that. Our language is ours. Just like we gave the world English. You don't hear nobody arguing with me about that. What are you going to argue? Ask him, who made you? And you have to say y'all did. Well, then where'd you get the language from? Well, let's stop all that action. In your languages, the very languages that you use makes you arrogant. You learn humility in English. When you learn to speak in tongues, that's what English is. You're speaking in tongues. You know, we have a whole new meaning in English than it does in French. C does too. And depending on what kind of C you're talking about, it's spelled different. It sounds the same, but it's spelled different. You see, what he didn't realize was when we gave him English, in the end, you saw the Matrix. You know, he thought he was swallowing up somebody when all he was doing was actually giving himself back to the one who gave him, who made him what he was in the first place. When they brought us here and put English in us, they just put back in us what we had gave him. Do you understand? And I can do far more with it than he can. You see? Because it was mine in the first place. You see? He wouldn't have even been able to rule the earth if we hadn't gave him English. Why don't they say, that ain't right, that ain't right, that ain't right. Come in here and tell me it ain't right. So now, let's go into the theology of time and let you learn something.
I'm now going to turn you back and to have the voice of our assistant minister to dismiss you. We have a wonderful minister. Was there anything that you all want? Anybody else wanted to ask me? Yes, sir. Come up here, brother, closer where I can hear you. Thank you. Closer, because there was no one there to record. He is the God. There is no God in the sky before you. Black man has no beginning. There was no God before him. We would be following another people. But we are here on the earth
Are you aware that that's written? That's in Isaiah. There wasn't no God before me. We had 12. And neither one of them was superior or supreme to the other. There was a potential in us to produce a supreme being, but we didn't know how to bring him out. So he had to direct himself out. That's why by way of inspiration, that mind kept growing and just turning in the black nation until one of us got the idea that we had in us a superior mind that under the right circumstances could come forth. That's why Yaqub, he knew how to make that happen. So he's made a devil. Do you understand? And by making the devil, he knew that the only thing that would be able to overcome him is the supreme being. Do you understand? There ain't no other man on this planet that could shut the white man's mouth like I done did. There ain't no other man on this planet can do that. That's why he ain't got nothing to feel shame about. If it wasn't for the fact, it's like he told the messenger. He said if we could get him out the way, we have a glorious future. Meaning what? I say he's second only to God. Anytime he have to shut up, it's because God is present. Now, and you let's see you stand up and say something like that. See how long he let you get by with it. Yeah, that's because I know who I am now. And before me, there was no God formed. I was being formed while the devil was ruling. The mind that's in me came in parts. Do you understand? And so in order to keep making sure that all of the parts made it here, we had to grant respite to the devil. Do you understand? And by keeping that culture, that evil culture around, we produced a new mind. Then it was just a matter of, since we delivered them parts into the hands of sinful men, we delivered Abraham's seed into the hands of sinful men so that they would mistreat us and our genes would go into production of a vessel to receive all of them parts. Do you understand? You see? So now, the irresistible force, surely the remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. It's the irresistible force, the truth. And like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, I shall not be moved. I am the immovable object coupled with the irresistible force. I and my Father are one. The best way to say it is, I, the truth, in my Father are one. I, the truth, in my Father am one man. As your body is one with your mind, this one is one with the mind that's in it. I am. Yeah. So now let's go and read a little more in chapter 40, I tell you 43, I think, of the book of Isaiah. I think it's that. Yes. The messenger. Now you listen to what he said about when the brother asked him about why there ain't no record, you know, why we don't know the beginning of God. The messenger told him wasn't nobody there to keep a record. You know, listen.
There was no one there to record it. He is the God. There is no God in the sun before you. Like that, there's no beginning. There was no God before him. So we would be following another.
If there was a God before I'll put it like this. If there was a God before me, then we would be following him. We would follow one who was before us. Do you understand? But since we're the first, the black man, is the first man that walked around on earth and in the sun. The first man. And so where did we come from? We came from everlasting, from matter that was without form, and the mind that was in matter put matter in form and created this form. Like you sit down and you don't have to wonder how. Now look, understand something. We tell you the reasonable thing. As the messenger said, we had nobody to teach us how these things came about. There was no teacher that said they was there. And so we tell you what's reasonable. How we know it's reasonable is because we know what we do now. Where did the idea for an automobile or an airplane come from? It came out of some man's mind sitting down imagining what could be made. But he had something to go from, which he looked at birds. Do you understand? But in the creation of us, the creator, the originator, how long it took to form the creation in his mind. The matter was there. The material for us has always been. But this form, how long that was in the creation, we don't know. All we know is that we thought it up, then we made it to deposit ourselves in. I mean, I can understand even now why we didn't put no wings on ourselves and make ourselves flat and all that kind of stuff. You know, you start off something that's just a mind in matter. Feel good to be able to be rooted down instead of floating around. Do you understand? So, even right now, yes.
ask you a question. You're just talking about when you made this form. When the form was made, was it made fully grown adult, or did it go through?
Well, no, we didn't have no go through no stages of no growth. That come with reproduction. And the reason that you have to go through that stage is because where you gonna put a grown body? Inside of the woman. So it had to do like everything. Just like we started off building ourselves up. We didn't start off whole. We started off building ourselves up in parts. Now, how long that took? If that's what you asking me, yes, we started in parts. We started building that thing. As you build a house. The house didn't just come, you had to put it together in parts. And then once you build it, then you move into it. Is that right? Even right now, have you thought about the fact that what we call life is that we take in the breath of the earth, and we even the blood in our veins look just like lava that come up out the earth. And, you know, I mean, our definition of life, we really don't understand life. We just, we put it in a term that we can understand. Because even in that, did you see Lucy?
Yes.
You remember in there she told you, no, nothing really died? Well, that's true. Matter just changes forms. You know, what you call death is just matter changing forms. When you can't hold this form any longer, then you die. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But the material goes on. Life goes what? Life goes on. You know, if that material was dead, then where did it go? So all matter is moving all the time. All matter is moving. You look at a table close enough, if you could look at the molecules in there, you see it moving. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right then. You see? So we have a lot to learn about ourselves. You can't learn it from a 6-day-old baby. The white man is just scratching the surface. So we sharing these things, but he actually gaining all of this technical knowledge and scientific knowledge that he calls scientific knowledge, which is truth, knowledge of truth. That came in my time. It didn't come with him. That's the water bag that came with me. Why you think he can't come in here and start no argument with me? No. You know, I take up where y'all were left off. There's no point in you trying to argue with me. You make yourself look foolish. Because I'm the next stage of human development. You either change or you're not going to be here. All your knowledge of warfare and all that stuff, they had a song they used to sing in church. Ain't going to study war no more. Too bad you didn't mean it, because you sure sung it. Now you in the day and time where you ain't got no business studying war no more. Thou shalt not kill. That ain't just words on paper no more. I come to do the will. In other words, I come to enforce it. You know, that's what do the president do? He enforces the laws that Congress made. That's his job. to enforce the Constitution. My job is to enforce the Word of God. And I have the forces of nature, just like the president, all of the armed forces of the United States. He is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the United States. Well, the forces of nature, as the armed forces, have been ordered to obey the president. The forces of nature have been ordered to obey me, to fight on my side, in other words. Not obey no whim I have, but like your immune system don't obey your conscious mind. It obeys your subconscious. It's an autoimmune system. And when your body get in serious, when a serious threat comes, it goes on automatic. So that's why it's written, whoever fall on that stone shall be crushed. What does that say? If you fall on the sun, you can fall toward the sun, but I doubt if you'll get to it. No, it don't work like that. But anyway,
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Raymond has two questions. His first one is, how is it possible for a human to exist before a sun?
How is it possible? Because the human is matter. That's all you are, is matter. Put in certain, everything is mixed. Yeah, that's what we don't really see. Just like we think, most of us, because of the way our eyes are formed, we think we see what we really look like. If you saw what you really look like, you wouldn't like it. That's all you are, is dust and water, clay, water, iron, nickel, cobalt. You are matter being held together by force of electronic magnetic force. That's part of what's holding you together. And little pieces of you is steadily falling off. That's how a hound is able to track you. Little pieces of matter is steady falling off of you. You back in your bed, you'll see that skin that fell off of you in the bed, stuff like that. That's what Howard Hughes was so paranoid about. You know, he knew that skin and everything, but what if he had been surrounded by the right kind of people? Like if I would have been around him, I could have helped him, because I could have told him and said, that's not going to breathing what fall off of people, not going to hurt you. Everything is everything. All of us is all of that. So you don't have to fear that. You know, it's just that our eyes, we formed our eyes in such a way that we could see beauty. That's the beauty of the creator. Create means to bring into being from nothing. It didn't exist. We created it. And we have a saying, beauty is in the eyes of the one who's doing the looking. Do you understand? You know, I saw what we look like at the beginning of my mission. Just, you know, I looked in the mirror and saw what I really looked like. You know, just clay. Just dry clay. It didn't frighten me. I was just looking. I was just surprised, you know. But even that was put there to teach me a lesson. I'm going to create a model of sounding what? So he showed me what I really look like. And then it's done. You know, now I see skin like you see skin. But what we actually are is matter. Matter that is in a form that mind take up residence in, and we are the universe. The matter that's in the universe is us, and we study ourselves. We are learning of ourselves. You know, that's a good way of looking at it, like that song, "Roll, roll, roll your boat." Life is but a dream. Yeah. What is a dream? It's thoughts. But only we are in a form that we can make thoughts real. We get to experience what we thought up. Do you understand? So that's why I like that little skit, that little part of Field of Dreams. He said, heaven is a place where dreams are made real or can come true. Do you understand? You know, all of these things that a chair, a car, this suit, this is matter, material. That we thought of how to put it in a form that we could use it. You know, that's amazing. So,
Greg also had another question.
What is it?
He said when the Son of Man was debating Geno Jennings, he explained how the scripture said God made the light, then saying God is the light. Jennings explained that there are two kinds of light. Then the Son of Man was going to refute Jennings, but the show cut off. What was the Son of Man going to say?
Jennings didn't understand that the scriptures is what you got to. You cannot put your private interpretation on the scriptures. As the book says, God made two great lights, and one to rule the day and one to rule the night. Well, the devil is the prince of darkness. He rules in the absence of God, the deviser of illusion. The mind of the devil is the mind that veils spiritual things. Remember Jesus said that the light of the body is the eye. Okay, well then when he said, as long as I'm in the world, I'm the light of the world. And well, then all of the prophets were the eyes. And so Allah said, I form the light and create darkness. Who put the scriptures in a form that we call book? Allah did. And yet, when you look into it, you'll notice it's like looking into the sun. As far as you all are concerned, looking into the Holy Scriptures is like staring at the sun. And the only thing happens is you go blind. Because the sun wasn't put up there for you to understand. He told you that no man in heaven, nor in the earth, neither who had lived on the earth and it was now buried in the earth, no man was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. So if you believe the scripture is the word of God, what would that tell you? It would tell you don't even try to call yourself understanding it. Do like they told you. Wait on the Lord. Huh? And so when you know, as I told you last night, there's the messenger, at least night for last, the messenger told everybody. He said that the sun is so attractive that it forced everything in its circle to bow. But there's no planet attractive enough to force the sun to bow. And then he said, but, then he called it she. But she is attractive enough to force every planet in her reach to bow. He said the sun is a shining light, and it don't revolve around nothing but God himself. Well, I told you what that was talking about. As he said, you know, the scripture is a school You always call a school she, but the scripture is the son of man. And so the scripture is the school or the womb for the mind that would be called son of man. For the scripture itself is the son of man, she. And then when I get it, it all is talking to me, directing itself to me. Son of man, take it and eat it. And you become what you eat. So it revolves just like a story or a novel. It revolves around a central character. Is that right? Well, the Holy Scriptures revolve around me. It don't revolve around nothing but God himself. The Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout and with the voice of the prophets, the archangel, the ark of the covenant. Well, you notice when you have an arc welder, you have a negative and a positive, right? You clamp it to the negative and then put that positive charge and that arc jumps out. Is that right? Because you've completed the circle. Well, this is what happens. The scriptures was connected to the devil, to this wicked civilization, to the wicked world. Then the positive messenger came and knocked, and he caused me to wake up. And now I'm reading the scriptures, and I'm a mixture of both the prophets and the world's teaching, the devil's teaching. And so now they are one in my head, and it's just a constant light going on. You see, do you understand? You know, when you really understand something, you can teach it to others. That's how you can tell when a teacher really knows what he's talking about. He can make you understand what he's talking about. Sometimes people call themselves teaching you, and you say you done lost me there. What you mean? You say, wait, you know, you understand. No, you don't understand. That's why you can't make me understand. But anyway, I'm both, just like the sun. As he said, the sun is shining. He said, but we never can understand just why we don't understand the sun. We know people have been asking themselves this question for a long time. Why they don't understand, why we can't understand the scriptures? Why we got all this confusion? It's because it wasn't made for you. It was made for me. I was made for you. You don't have no problem understanding me. Is that right? Of course not. But once you understand that I understand the book, then it's time to bow your head and not call yourself judging me. Judge not. What? That you be not judged. You see, I'm your Lord. You ain't my Lord and you ain't my judge. I'm your judge and I'm your Lord. So, now let's get back to this.
But we are here on the earth, and we made the white race ourselves just a little while ago. So, yes. The Holy One teaches us that God didn't make us to live well. Always the nation is here. The black man is always here, but that's not.
Why we was not to live forever? Why not? First, I'll let him finish, and then I will tell you.
Oh, single black man living forever. All that the nation is always, the nation is here. Black man is always here, but that not no single black man living forever. We have, I think I'm living near 1,000 years, but they're not to live forever. And you know why? After the scientists live here and learn all about this earth and know what is to come to this earth, tomorrow could be 1,000 years or 20,000. Since he know all of this, he's not particular about staying around to see come in, because he already knows it. And so he gets tired, he starts living a life in which he knows will have an end to it.
Now that seems far-fetched to you because you don't have no reference point, because your mind don't think so deep. Yes, you can't have a deep mind with a shallow teacher. You have a 6,000-year-old teacher, so he ain't deep at all. But you can learn. How many times have you been looking at a movie that you saw before and got up and walked out? You didn't stay to the end of it, huh? Because of what? It lost your interest, huh? So some of them, they didn't want to wait around here no 20,000 years knowing that this was going to happen and there ain't nothing you can do about it. So we just, But there's something else. Remember, they were saying in the book that there's nothing new. Solomon was considered the wisest one. Because when the others was praying for wealth and all that kind of thing, Solomon prayed for wisdom. But even with his wisdom, Solomon said he didn't see nothing new under the sun. That which has been will be. And that which will be has already been. In other words, he is bored to death. Huh? And there ain't nothing new under the sun. So Jesus, he was here to break that chain. The prophets came to break that chain. Even Solomon, he even told you, trust in the Lord. David told you, wait on the Lord. Jesus said the queen of the south came from the utmost parts of the earth just to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And a greater than Solomon is here. Well, if I'm greater in knowledge and understanding than Solomon, then I can prove that by first explaining to you what he meant by what he said. Huh? Yes. Because you can only explain the wisdom of a wise teacher and be truthful. You can only do that if you are his equal or one greater. And we know that we don't go from, since life is a school itself, then you don't go from a greater teacher to a lesser teacher. Progress means you have to go greater and greater and greater. And since we are in an unlimited universe, we don't just travel in a circle. We travel in an ever-widening sphere. It's a spiral that just ever-widening, like a pearl. You chop a pearl up and look at a cutaway view of it, and you'll see that it's layers. Kind of like the earth is. The earth is layers. It's just like even the word Saturn You notice the SAT is what you get with Satan, right? And you notice Saturn don't have a whole big sphere of what you call atmosphere around it. It's got rings, little narrow rings. Well, that's all you get from the devil is a little ring of knowledge. You ain't got no sphere of knowledge. You got a ring. So instead of calling him Saturn, we call him Satan. But anyway, I'm just showing you that we can use our planets, use our universe to bear us witness. But in death, you either grow or you bore yourself to death. That is, and so death ain't something that comes on of itself. It's an alternative. When you can't stay here any longer, and when you are no longer able to find a reason to stay here, you want to go. So what? So die. When you can't do anything else, then why be here? When you can't think of nothing else to do, what do you need to be here for? You notice most people that retire from work, that's what Ronald Reagan, he said he didn't want to retire. Well, I don't blame him. Because most people after they retire, they don't live long. Well, you need a reason to get up and go. Now, it's more to it than that. The wages of sin. What is sin? Going against the law of life. God's word is life. But that was a work in progress too. Now the word is flesh and dwelling among you. So you listen to me, and I'm here to give you a reason that you don't need to die. Don't nothing need to die. The universe ain't gonna never get overcrowded. And they telling you now, NASA done found about 10, 12 more planets that look like it could be like Earth. There's plenty more of them out there. And if it ain't, we'll put some out there. But the point is, we are thinking bigger now. Do you understand? That's why stem cell research is so important. Yeah. So encourage that. I'm saying to the white people, the rulers, encourage the stem cell research. It will help humanity achieve what we were designed for in the first place. This mortal was put on immortality. So that's something worth praying for, to see the hereafter. Well, we don't have to worry about death no more. Then we can, what happened if you got people that was just living forever on the level of cowboys? This universe would go to waste. No. Now, if you worried about dying, then you're gonna be trying to come up with all kind of stuff that you can think of. You don't go around but once, so you got to grab all the gusto that you can. Is that right? Yeah, you'd be surprised how knowing you limited make you want to get up and go do something. Huh? If you got forever, then why get up at the chair? Huh? I think I'll sit here for the next 50 years. Hey man, let's go and build something. Man, we got time. We don't want to be like that. So we are created in haste. Yeah. We live and die in a heartbeat. You know what that reminds me of? We are to the earth as our life germ is to us. It don't live long. So it's got to be quick. Do what it's going to do and do it quick. Never knowing that compared to its little 72 hours, what is 90 years compared to 72 hours? That's forever to a life, Jermaine. It couldn't imagine itself living that long, huh? Well, 1,000 years ain't no more than a day. To God. And God shall be all and in all. Well, if the head of every man is Christ and the head of Christ is God, but then all human beings will be God, working as one. One head and everybody else in tune with that head. Yeah. Well, let y'all go. I don't want you to get spooky. But this is what, Wednesday? So the 3 hours is gone. Remind me, we left off on 6. Well, let this last little bit play.
The Savior said some of these great scientists just start eating 3 times a day, and they soon die. Because the food is the thing that sustains life, keeps us here, and the same food will take us away. Because the poison that's in the food will eventually destroy our physical form if we continue to fight again.
Now, what you have to remember is that all plants and animals have an immune system, and that immune system is poison to us and to other creatures. It's just like you notice your body, if you put somebody else's liver inside of you, your body would have an adverse reaction to it. It poisons your body. You understand? And we've learned, humanity has learned to have something that helps to counteract that. But yes, all food has poison in it. That's why we have the kidneys and all the liver and all of these things to protect us after we ingest food to remove the poisons. You see?
So that is the way that Hollis learned scientists among the black men just away from our town. He just started eating. That's the way that he should be. Because, as I just said, the food is the thing that keeps us here, and it's the food that takes us away. Anything else, brother? Good in the covenant, yes. We are now living in the last of the, some people call it different names. That was here now 15,000 years ago, and this time that of wisdom was to go 25,000 years. But System D has come in against all previous gods because he is God of us all. His wisdom is not matched by no God in the past nor in the future to come. Therefore, the scientists said that he lived
Do you have anybody that you know of that you can invite in here that's equal to me? As the messenger just told you, there's none of them my equal. The very nature of the brain that's in me is to understand quickly whatever attracts my attention. You see? In order to be the head of every human being, a head has to want what's in the best interest of his whole body. What other man do you know of that actually lives by that rule? That really wants what's best for all human beings? Name one beside me. Even when I talk about white people, you don't hear white people accusing me of hating them. And they know I don't like the stuff that they putting down. But they know it ain't got nothing to do with their skin. I hate evil. And I never get the two confused. In other words, you know, if I see Roy Rogers and Trigger coming, I know Trigger ain't Roy. And I know Roy ain't Trigger. Well, when I see a wicked mind expressing itself through weak flesh, I know who the guilty one is. And I try to get you to stop long enough to hear what I have to say that will make you change so that you don't have to be destroyed. It ain't my fault if you didn't have something to listen. That's your fault.
Because the body to remove his seed is God of us all. His wisdom is not matched by no God in the past nor in the future to come. Therefore, the scientist said that he lived forever because the body to remove his knowledge. All of these questions that you ask me, I intend to teach you that anyway when I get further over into the subject. That will come in. I have to bring it to prove that you are the first and the last that there ever be a last. And we have gotten so wise now nobody can cut us off and make us a last. Every time one come in after a certain time, he's wiser than the other one. That keep us going. Was there something else? Come back and bring them.
You just heard him say it. Now, who do you know of that is giving you more wisdom and that can stand up and teach behind the Honorable Elijah Muhammad other than me? All the rest of them, they'll tell you, you ask, you wise as the master? Said, no. Well, because they're not. If they were, they could stand up and do what I'm doing. Make him bear me witness. Because he was bearing me witness. He told you that I would come after him. And he said, nobody coming behind me but God. I better tell you that. Well, who do you know of that can stand up and teach behind the Honorable Elijah Muhammad without contradicting him other than me? You hate to see me stop teaching. Like last Sunday, wanted me to come calling back into the room after 6 hours. Because of what? Because I'm giving you something that you never dreamed you would hear. See?
I want all of you to go away from this temple with your mind self, bringing to me next time you come 5 more besides yourself. Wait. Are you back in the hands of our minister, and he will do the dismissing. And I have had a very good time here with you. But I will be looking for you with 5 more. With each and every one of you next Sunday afternoon. We haven't forgotten our subject. It's just so long. But if you keep coming, you will keep learning. I'm the little boy that challenged the world of science to disprove just one word I say. If you are able to condemn me on one word that I teach here, give you $10,000 out of my brother's testimony, and then I'll pay with my life for lying to you. We must not lie in this thing. It's the end of this world. So since we have been the master liars, we must not become no minor liars either. Thank you. Allah's peace and His blessing go with each and every one of you as you return to your home. Bless you with safety and trust. That is always traveling on. Trouble is death. But I pray, and I want you to pray that Allah take us home without a broken limb or a scratched brush, and without our property being marred and scratched. I think. Salam alaikum.
Okay. That was disc number 4, I think. Yeah. Next will be on disc 5. And we're working our way through it. On disc number 5, and it'd be June the 18th, 1972. So that's what we're going to start with Friday. Now, anybody else had a question for me before I let you go? Well, if there are no questions, then may Allah bless us all and keep us safe and in our right minds. And, well, you know that's something to pray for. You done heard of some of them come in here, they ain't in their right mind. You didn't lock the room, did you? Okay, well. So, you know, those who blurt out things, I don't so much as mean to keep them out. but I have to do a little something to make them understand that you don't come in my class doing that. Now, when they come back, they be quiet, then they can come back in. But don't come in here with your emotional outbursts. No, it's,
So, man, I want to apologize.
that's okay. That's all right. We don't mean to put nobody out and keep them out, because I'm here with the truth. Whosoever cometh unto me, I will in no wise cast out, if they come with the right attitude and with the right conduct. But if you don't have the right conduct, even in the devil's world, they take you out of the society if your conduct is unbecoming to those who rule the society. You have to abide by their laws, or they come get you and take you out of the society. Do you understand? Okay. So just control yourself and conduct yourself like you know you're in the presence of the Son of Man. And, the Son of Man, the book told you, is the Lord. Then don't be forward in my presence. If you want to say something, then you get my permission. Don't just start blurting stuff out. If you agree with me, then just remain silent. If I say something that you disagree with, then show me why you disagree. Just unmute your phone and tell me I want to discuss that with you, and I'll discuss it with you. If you want to question something that I said, if I didn't make it clear, then ask your question. But show that you know that you are in the presence of a teacher and not in some little show or whatnot. This is not a show. This is a class. All right. May Allah's salam alaikum.